Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Meyers Mohawks basketball on the ladies' side. Chris Gray, the head coach, with his senior Salimah Biggs. Coach, just one senior, but she's an awful special one. She's been with the program for 4 years, and let's talk a little bit about her talents there at Meyers.
Oh, John, thanks for having us. There's not an adjective in the book that I couldn't use to describe this kid in a positive way. Everything that she's done, she's been a 4-year starter, a 3-year captain, and she's really made my life awful easy as a coach, having her on the floor and having the ball in her hands. At the end of a game, really, she hasn't really come off the floor for 4 years, and she's going to be awful hard to replace, but whatever she decides she wants to do with her life, she's going to be very, very successful. I have no doubt about that.
Well, let's welcome in Salimah Biggs, a senior here from Meyers. Salimah, how about for you? Just a few more times on the court is all it's going to be. I'm sure there's a lot of memories over the years for you as a Lady Mohawk.
Yeah, it's going to be bittersweet. I love my team. I love playing with them, and I'm looking forward to my future, but I know I'm going to miss them. It's been a long time, so.
Talk about the game of basketball for you, Salimah. When did you first start playing, and what's it been like to go through the program and coming up as a freshman and playing with Coach Gray? And there's been different sets of girls, and this year, you're the lone senior, but you've shown leadership over the past couple of years there at Meyers.
Well, I started in 8th grade year. I had a pretty good year there. Then I moved up. I was forced to become a vocal leader. I'm not too vocal, but I know my actions on the court show leadership, and I hope that everybody was inspired or influenced by my actions and how I play, and hopefully they can be successful just as me.
Coach, when you get a humble young lady like Salimah who works hard, punches the time clock all the time, those don't always come around. Doesn't matter what sport it is, but I'm sure it's, as you said, it's great to have, and it rubs off on some of the other young ladies.
Well, it's the biggest thing that I've had since she walked in the court as a freshman, to be the first one to demonstrate a drill or to, step out onto the court and to just really, truly lead by example and do everything the right way. First one in the gym, last one out, hardest working kid. First one through every sprint, from first one we do in practice to the last one we do before we walk out the door. And she truly has set that example for her teammates to follow in her footsteps, and hopefully, they continue to do that after she's gone.
Let's get back with Salimah, who's a senior this year. Future plans for you, Salimah. I know there's some colleges that are looking at you and say, please come play basketball for us. Have you made any decisions, or do you have some schools that are at least in the mix for you?
I didn't make my decision yet, but I have my options open. I know King's is very interested, and it's a really good school, and I think I could be start a player there.
Salimah, how about for your teammates and you? You're getting into the playoffs here. Anything could happen. What are you looking forward to? It has to be a one-game approach, whether you're the 1 seed or the 16 seed. You guys are a little closer to the top, but talk a little bit about Coach Gray and what you plan on doing coming up this week.
I don't really know what we plan on doing. I just know we have to take one game at a time and really focus on that game and not looking too far ahead of us, and just play our hearts out and get as far as we can.
Coach Gray, for you, looking at this playoff picture that's coming up, it's pretty tough at the top as far as who the teams are, but you take one game at a time and see what happens, and try to keep that playoff life alive if you can.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, John. It's just one game at a time, and that you have to be aware of what's going on around you and what your potential matchups are also. And it's really been a difficult year for us as a staff trying to prepare for districts coming down the stretch, because you have 3 teams tied at the top there: Dunmore, Redeemer, and Montrose, all league champions, all undefeated, which will come down to a point flip. And up until the last day of the season, we had teams jumbled up down at the bottom too. So you didn't and also in the middle. So you didn't really know where you were going to fall. And right up until Friday night with our game against GER, we had no way of knowing who we were going to be playing. We do know now that it looks like we'll play Mountain View. We're going to be the 5 seed, and we'll look to gather as much information on them as possible and deal with it one day, one game at a time.
Got to see Mountain View play once this year. Pretty scrappy team, and they're one of those teams that can beat anybody on any given night. Salimah, for you, going out with a win against the rival GAR and the way you guys did, and Gianna Scaff, it's a big bucket for you guys late, but to beat GAR and having a good night for you and senior night, tell us about those emotions for you, how that all felt.
Well, everybody knows BAR and Meyers is a big rivalry. We just wanted to beat them on our home floor, especially on the Salimah night. And it was really good that she really hit that shot, so I'm just happy.
Coach and Salimah, we wish you guys well through the playoffs. Great catching up with you. And Salimah, best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you.
The Meyers Lady Mohawks basketball team getting ready for the playoffs here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.